Hello, hello, greetings everyone. Welcome in. Happy weekend to everyone. So, okay, guys, as usual, while we are sharing, let's give few minutes. So, few minutes this time is maybe maximum 3 minutes. So, just take it around, please, as we have a music break and encourage everyone that you join. Share with your friends, tag your friends. This is a powerful session, and we all definitely want to have a prosperous and happy 2024. So we'll start in a few minutes. So for a moment, let's enjoy the song. Living in harmony. So guys, as you join, let us know where you're watching us from. Always watching. We own no copyright infringement for the songs we are playing. Welcome in everyone. With you, there is no impossibility. With you, I can move the mountain. Whatever you say, will surely come to pass. At the mention of your name, everything was right. Oh, unchangeable, reliable. Only you can do what the Lord can do. Unchangeable, welcome in everyone. Let's know where you're watching us from. So after this song, we'll start. There is nothing, absolutely nothing. There is nothing. No copyright infringement intended for the song. No one can deny your greatness and your power. Make me just a wonder, walking God. I can see you everywhere, touching everyone, removing every pain. Oh, there is nothing, absolutely nothing. There is nothing impossible unto you. Everybody unchangeable, reliable. Only you can do what no man can do. Unchangeable. Hello, my way up we can see this one. So guys, we start a minute after this song. So welcome in guys as we join as usual. Let's know who's watching and where you're watching us from. Hello, my friend.
Hello, good evening.
It's been a long time.
I'm
How you
telling
doing
you, Happy
today?
New Year.
Happy New Year indeed. Like your network has been messing up with you.
I'm telling you.
We want you to go with us.
Yeah,
So how has the year started for you?
uh, well, it's already a tough one,
Oh
but I
my
believe that
goodness.
we are also tough people.
Awesome. I love that. I love that mindset though because somewhat I saw some posts or someone status like maybe we have to restart 2024. I'm
I'm
like
telling you.
I don't know how many people are like, can you say it louder?
The
So
New
okay,
Year
guys, so
just
you're starting immediately
always
after the song, and that's what you're doing. So normally we always give like time for people to share, but again, we value time so much. So that's why this year, we're trying new things. One of the new thing we want to do is making sure at least we don't keep people waiting that much. So today it's another session, and if you join us for the first time, this type of session is collaboration with you. It's everyone has a mind. It's concerns and minds. It's not a particular person. It's people think a particular way. So if you're this person who is open-minded and you're open to learn from other people, then you're in the right place. So we have this program every Saturday where we talk about, as you can see, we talks, things that relate to us, things that can help us do better, things that can help us maximize every minute, every second. So, and today, as Fafaya is here, you can also join us next time. By the way, you can be the host, and we would love to be maybe in the comment section also active there or joining you on the screen. So it's for everybody. Don't say, "Oh, I'm just starting today and I don't know what it's all about." I hope now you know. So it doesn't matter where you're watching from Facebook, if you're watching from YouTube, it's the same family. It's all about talking about our mindsets, our life, things we can do, and things we can do. So today specifically, we're talking about our modes of
sides
operation.
at live things.
Oh, I think there's a
Sorry,
echo
sorry.
somewhere. Okay, cool. So, thank you. Before I proceed, I want to say thank you for everyone who took our time to share, and we encourage everyone to share. This New Year seems like some people understand it's January, and some people fast in January, but it's fine. So that's one of the reasons we're talking because some people still don't have that time or don't know or don't understand why some people retreat. Some people are not on social media in January. It's what it is. So that's why we come here to talk because, as I said, some people may not be updated about this other style or this other lifestyle, why people are fasting, why people are doing so. And so our topic of today is just basically like why should we think or consider of to activate our mission mode. So before we start fully, Raphael, what do you think? Do you think like everyone understand that there are different modes of operation? And also, what do you think when we talk about like the mission mode? What can you say about that? Like, you think like everybody is operating in the same mode or the same energy? I don't know also the words you may want to use, but I just felt like going with mood of operation, which of course is not like a standard as usual with creative and independent minds.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to wish everybody again a happy new year. Even though we are saying that the new year started the way it started, one thing is that we should always have a positive mind, and because it is that positive mind that keeps you going. Because things will never be the same 100% all the time. Things will never go the same all the time. That moments when you have highs and the moments when you have lows. And even if the new year started at the low point for you, know that there is still enough time for change. So what I think is that not everyone operates on the same energy level. Not everyone operates on the same energy level. We have people who, according to their advancement or stages in life, I think your stage in life greatly determines your energy level. And uh, it is it's really true that we we don't we don't operate on the same energy levels at all. So we have people who are operating on very high energy levels and others that are operating on low energy level. But this does not mean that we are not living the same life, or some people are more special than others. No one is more special than others. You and I talking here, we are not different from anybody around the world. So uh, the reason why we come here is because we have on our own part try to bring up our own energy levels, and with what we have been able to do and to cultivate throughout the years, we believe that sharing that can bring others to that same energy level, and we can grow as a person. So even though we do not operate on the same energy level, I think it's because we are on different stages of development in life, and we can never compare that to anybody. And I cannot even advise somebody to compare where you are right now to where somebody else is. We all have our unique parts. And if you say your energy level, or if you think your energy level is not at a high point right now, that means you're still growing. We are all still growing, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Oh, at times you feel low, at times you feel high, you feel as if you're on the top of the world. In the next second, you feel like everything is crumbling. So that's how it goes. That's how it goes. There are times when your energy is high, there are times when your energy is very low. So it's just a matter of polarizing yourself on that positive side uh, of the mind, because when it comes to your mind, we have two poles, that is the negative and the positive pole, and we have to always try as much as possible to polarize ourselves to that positive side, so that we always operate on the positive side.
Okay, thank you so much. That's powerful. I see initially in the comment section. So happy to have you, so Rambo. Thank you, every other person watching. So, guys, let's hear for those who are watching in the comment section. Share with us your thought. What do you think? Do you think everybody's operating at the same energy level or at the in the same mood, or what do you think? Let's know in the comment section. So, while we share that, that brings us to the AFCON. Are you watching the matches?
I did,
Okay.
uh, but I'm watching. When I'm watching a match, I'm only supporting those who are winning. So yesterday I was supporting Senegal. I
Okay,
didn't
I
support
like that.
Cameroon.
I like to hear that. So I just woke up and I was a little bit. I really don't watch it actively, but I watch it passively. So I was like, I just imagine where those teams are losing are now, and so that told me that is how God aligns so amazing topics like today with events like that. So for some of us, you know, it's what it is, and some people were really down yesterday, and so this goes to every game and the games of our lives. This is to say, yesterday, just imagine the team that you were winning. As you said, many people changed their actual team. They started supporting the winning team. It's the same thing I saw yesterday. I saw people like, oh, I'm no more this country, I'm this other country because that country is winning. So I just imagine our lives, day to day lives, like how many times we change our circle of friends because they are not winning. You know, everybody wants to go in that direction that they that are good results. And that's why I felt like the Holy Spirit wanted us to really talk about this amazing topic in this energy level that we all, irrespective of where you are, what game you're playing, what goals you have, there are going to be up and there are going to be ups and there are going to be downs. But definitely strong people or people who are resilient or patience, by the way, is a virtue. And it's in those tough moments that you definitely know who has faith and who has fear. We all talk about, oh, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, for example, I shall not. But do you have that courage to go through the valley of the shadow of death and still come out motivated? So that is the question I'm asking each and every one of us. Like, do you have? You say, oh, even though I go to the lions, then the lion shall not touch me, shall not harm me. Do you have that resilience that mind, that mentality, that courage to still stay positive in the lion's den. Because at the end of the day, it's not just being in the lion's den that is the matter. It's what you do while in the lion's den that differentiates you. What you do when you face the Goliaths. And so that's why we have this particular topic. Because yes, you understand some people like this year have not started well, or the last year was not good. So depending on wherever, if you find yourself in a good side, it's like, oh, let it be permanent. But sometimes it's not always like that. Good, right? So what is happening? Some people are now in this position, like they are just waiting for the next year to come. This year just started, right? Some people are actually waiting for the year to start again, or for those who are watching Afcon and have a particular team that is not playing well, maybe are waiting for the next match, like the next, not even the next match, maybe the next Afcon. So life is not just the waiting that is important, but it's what we do in the waiting and what mood we have in the waiting. And that's why today we want to definitely talk about how do we do, or why should we stay in emotion mission mode. Mission mode. So when I talk about mission mode, I'll go a little bit into science. When we look at the life cycle of every living thing, every living thing, even viruses that are not living things. I know some people don't even know that viruses are not living things. Happy weekend to you, to sis. So even viruses are not living things, they practice this, and this is the only reason I can say, or this is the main reason why a virus that is not a living thing can come to a living thing and make use of the body and make the and even kill the living thing. So understand this today, and I know it's going to help a lot of us. So every living thing have different modes or different stages, different phase. Like my first says something that if one reason that we are different is because we are still growing, and I agree to that. We are going in different level. We have different level of reasonings because we are going. We have different level of growth mentally, right? We have different levels of let me say discerning because we have different level of growth spiritually, possibly. So those are the same factors that influence every living organism. So talking about good, we're going to talk about good in different levels. But now let's talk about more of the phases and the mode I want us to understand today. So we have what they call the lack phase, or the lack mode, whatever. So I want to use phrase or stage. So you have what they call the lack phase. Sorry, the lack phase, which is what bacteria and viruses use a lot. And I say this is one thing that the viruses use and take over us human beings. So when a virus comes to a human body, for example, a living organism, it does not just start announcing its presence, it does not start posting on social media. Like you relocate to a new place, you just start posting, or you just have a new car, you start posting, for example. So there's always that lack phase. That lack phase is like an adaptive phase, it's an understanding phase, is a phase where you assemble your materials. So when we understand the way the viruses work before, in respect of the fact that they are very small and particles, by the way, in nature, not even living, but they come to a very gigantic human being like us and make us sick and sometimes even kill us. It's because they understand this importance of the lack phase. So when it comes to the lack phase, they don't just help you to start making results. You start announcing that, oh, I'm in your body, giving you some light fever. So they start first by doing what? By taking out that time to prepare themselves, to understand, to look a spot in your body, maybe your blood cells that they know you need it very much, start sucking it up. Then find somewhere they can stay that you can then multiply. When they have multiplied, you know that there are so many of them now. They build like a strong foundation that they know you cannot easily destroy them. Now, when they have multiplied, it's that multiplication that makes them now to get to that phase that when you take that same drug that kills virus, it's resistant to kill what now them that has taken that time to adapt. So it's the same thing to every human being. No matter where you find yourself, you have opportunity to have this stage of life where it's not really like nothing is moving. It can be a waiting time, but in that waiting, what are you doing? You're learning. You're learning new things. You're not making any results, right? But it doesn't mean you're depressed. You're sitting down, you're understanding your own journey. You're sitting down, you're processing and seeing the things you still need to put in order. You're sitting down, assembling the materials that are not yet assembled. For example, before I come live like this, I didn't just put my screen and came on. Like there were things I had to connect, and the people had to make sure that okay, if they are going to connect or not. So there are those preparatory steps. That's what the lag phase is all about. So it's not about results. I would say it's about preparation. We all need to prepare. It's important, it's essential that whatever step you want to take, and that's why I said in the beginning that for some people, instead of just going through this year and start producing results, setting goals and manifesting, which a lot of people do, a lot of like people who are intentional and spiritual, they take out some days, maybe the whole of this month, depends on people before the year, some people it's just the beginning of the year, they take time to reflect, to meditate, to seek for direction on how and what they need to do this year. And at that time, of course, you may not be seeing some people posting even on social media. It doesn't mean they are depressed. It doesn't mean they're in survival mode. So I just want to also say the lag phase is not necessarily a survival phase. So if someone is not making those exponential results, hello, Ostan, really happy to have you around today. So if you want to join the school, let us know. We can always send the link, by the way. So that goes to every other person. We're happy to have everyone with us today. So yeah, so after that lag phase is not, I was just about saying that it's not necessarily a survival phase. I just want us to know. But it could be. It's not necessary, it's not always a survival phase. It could be a survival phase like, okay, you don't want you are in shock. And like let me take example. When you take bacteria from the fridge. Those bacteria were active, for example, before you keep them in the fridge, right? For those who culture, when you take those bacteria and immediately put them in your culture plate, they don't start growing immediately. So they are like trying to come back to activity, like to be reactivated. Let's put it like that. So that can be okay, trying to survive stuff like that. So it's the same thing with you and I, or every other living thing. As I said, these spaces sometimes study them just for microbes, but it's applicable for every living organism. So your survival mode may not necessarily be your lag phase. It may be your decline phase. So that's another phase. So that just put that in mind that we have the lag phase. The next phase is the exponential. So a lot of times, like when this topic came to my mind, is because I've realized that, came to realize that a lot of time people pray for exponential results but stay in lack phase. What do I mean? You are waiting for God to do something, for example, you trust God will do it. But now you're staying in that area of your fear. God said, okay, you have to get to Canaan. And Canaan is blessed with this amazing opportunity, these amazing things. But you have to first leave Egypt. Now you have people mentally, they are still in Egypt. They are still doing the same things, the same way they are comfortable about doing. They don't want to try the new thing. They don't want to move to the next place. Of course, every new step, there are doubts, there are fears, right? So you sit in that same location or that same position of fear, but you're expecting that exponential result. Like, oh, I want to be, give me the power, give me the courage like David. But David left was courageous enough to say, oh, I can stand before Goliath. Can you stand before Goliath? So those are the steps. Some steps in life I really like that. Those things David was like, I am not afraid of this man because of his size, because he had had a lot of lack moments and he prepared himself for moments like that, right? He did not just have that courage because there was Goliath. So that there was a lack phase that most of the time we want to ignore. You want to talk about, oh, these people are winning, they are losing. No, there was something they trained before they came to the matches. So I by the way don't know anything that you can just get up and just go and do it like that. Yes, even you say, oh, I just make the content and this, but it comes with rehearsals. Some rehearsals are not even intentional. So we have that lock phase. Lock phase generally is where you have those exponential results. So after the lab where you have those prep, sometimes God use different things to prepare us. And that different things sometimes automatically take us to the lag phase. And what we do, as I said, that lack phase, you may be waiting for God to answer a certain prayer, but what you do in that waiting is what is going to determine what you do, the results you get. in your luck phase, your luck or exponential or growth phase. So this is a new year. Ask yourself, like, what have I been doing? What did I do in 2023? Assuming that 2023 was your lack phase. What have you, or what did you do? And now let's say we want to have exponential results this year, right? What are we doing while waiting? That that is what really influences the type of result. If you don't plant anything now, what is God going to bless? You can't really plant cocoa and you harvest cassava. So if you plant one seed of cocoa, that is what God is going to multiply, right? If you plant nothing, so if what God gave you last year, you buried it in the bank, you buried it under your bed, that is what it is. That is the something spiritually. If last year you were expecting God to take you to a higher level, and all you did is you just sat, you didn't grow in your spirit. Trust me, this year you may still waiting for something that God is not even with you on the same page with you. Why? Because you've not gone spiritually while you were waiting to understand and hear God clearly. God is specific. If God says, I'm going to give you something, you need to be sure, like, God, when? And He does not answer sometimes immediately, that when is 25 years' time. So, for you to be able to know that your when is 25 years' time, you need, while waiting, to be growing in your spirit. So, that is really applicable to everybody. Before, Isaac came, there was a waiting time, there was a lack period. Before every other miracle, that is really powerful, there was definitely a lack time. So after the lack, we have the law, which said is the growth and explanation. What is the next phase? The next phase is the stationary. Stationary is this phase, and as I said, it don't necessarily come in this order. Sometimes you don't go through a situation in life that just puts you in a stationary phase. So why are we saying all these things? So that we all are intentional. We cannot be living intentional without understanding the stages of our life, or the phases, the different modes. You cannot just have even your laptop and you don't know the different functions of your button, right? Where to put it on and where to put it off. So that's what we're talking. If you understand the different modes of operation, the different phases in which we can operate, that help you to know, oh, maybe when you see yourself, you feel a certain way, you can know, okay, maybe this is the mode in which I'm operating, or this is the phase in which I am. So you have the stationary phase. The stationary phase, like, things are just in that stagnant position. It doesn't mean like, oh, you're not doing the right thing. Sometimes, let's be real, guys. Are there some people who are putting their best, putting all and done all they can do, and nothing changes? Are there people like that? I've been like that. I've had moments like that. And I know for a fact that if we are all true to ourselves, we have had those moments that you put in all your best. You use all the resources you could imagine on earth, yet nothing is changing, nothing is happening. Things are going, maybe sometimes you're even putting money. So that is basically like the stationary phase. And as I said, it doesn't necessarily mean that when you leave from a log phase, you move to a stationary phase. So don't take that sequence, but just understand that these are different phases. For example, typically the way I understand myself, I'm a light. And as a light, I know light moves like this. Light does not move straight. Light moves like this, moves up, down. That's how it moves to higher energy levels. So if you understand that movement of light, you know that after I talk, you may have to calm down sometimes for God to teach you new things, humble you, then take you. So if, and that's what I call like the waiting room. So we have another video, like one of our very first videos we did was on waiting room. So I encourage people, go and check that video on waiting room, because it tells you what you do in your waiting, when you're waiting for something. Because in life, it seems like at the end of the day, we are always waiting for something. I don't think I'm the only person realize that. Like, you get this tomorrow, maybe today you need a job, tomorrow you need more time for yourself. Today you need marriage, tomorrow you need children. When you have the marriage and the children, you start praying for when those children will get grow so that you have time for yourself. So it seems like people just move from one waiting room to the other. But instead of just waiting, just keep yourself busy. That's what makes the difference. So yes, there's that stationary phase. That stationary phase is just a phase in life that it seems like nothing is changing, nothing is adding in your life. doesn't necessarily mean that nothing is living your life as well. It's just like you don't see that growth that you expect, but you don't also see any significant decline. Like now with us humans, there's a certain age that you're growing taller and fatter, and there's a certain age that you stop growing. That is simple example of stationary. So you can relate that to every area of your life. Like there are times that you keep growing and it seems like you already know it all. There are things that like so it just happens like that. It's part of life. So there's that amazing phrase, which is not bad, but it's what you do again in that phase. If that phase you give up, you may never see the next up. If you take a long step, you take yourself also away from your purpose. So the other step, which is what I'm concerned about, and that's why I think this comment. Generally, generally February, January is one of those months I really don't like to talk. But I felt like if I'm in light, and it came to me like if I'm a light and I put off my light, and what about those who are depending on me, on my light, you get it? So that's why I'm so concerned about this particular phase, which is the decline or death phase. Even those in the healthcare, when they see some type of patient, they'll just like, oh, this one is just to prepare palliative treatment, stuff like that, hospice and so on. Nurses, you know those names. So you just start preparing that. Some people you just look them, they bring them to the hospital. You don't give treatment for them to be healed because you see like they are already in their decline phases. So that happens to every human being. So there's a time that naturally God gives us energy for that enables us to grow. When we are around the ages, let me say 10 to 20 or up to 25, we are actively growing physically, right? But above the age of let me say 60 or 70, what do we generally see? Do we see a growth or a decline? Let me ask that. Like someone who is below, no, above 60 or 70. So, guys, let me see everybody active in the comment section. So, do we see a decline, or can we say generally there's a decline or an increase in growth when we see people who are above by grace have gotten to the age of 60 or 70? Are they getting? Let's put it physically. So physically, are they growing or are they declining? Physical, it can be in terms of their look, your face, are they wrinkles? Maybe are their hairs turning from black to gray? Those are changes that comes with declination. Are the bones getting stronger or weaker? So, Afai, what do you think? Are these people declining
physically
or
or physically or declining. You're
yeah,
declining.
physically? I had to say physically because spiritually they may have attained some level of wisdom. That's for those who are intentional. But I've learned that not every old person is intentional. Some of them get more into witchcraft because yeah, they don't make use of their grace. So Emma says yeah. So yeah, isn't like are they increasing? Are they growing or are they declining? Okay, declining growth. So thank you, Dixon, and thank you, Ralph. So general, that's another phrase. So in whatever you're doing, if you understand this thing, you value time so much. That's the essence of it. In whatever you're doing. So when I see people do what they do at certain age, certain time, as Raphael said at the beginning, is based on how much they have grown, and I'll say mental growth. That's why you see, I always say a renewal of mind is a renewal of life. If you grow in terms of your mindset, your thinking, everything around your life will definitely grow. You may be in a stationary phase, maybe in a lack phase, but trust me, when the growth comes, you know how to manage it. Not everybody grows and manages. Some people grow and the growth instead instead frustrate them. So God is not for everybody, by the way, because the God may instead destroy some people. So that is based on how we make use of each of these phases of our life. That's why we talk about. We have to talk about this amazing topic of today. So with that being said, this is a new year, and obviously nothing changes if we change nothing. Nothing is going to change automatically this year if we don't change anything. I am a Christian and I'm not ashamed to say that anywhere, anytime. But I've also realized that mostly from the continent I come from, Christianity is something that people take it more as a church thing instead as instead of a lifestyle because Christianity is different from just going to church. It's about being intentional. So for this reason, I've realized a lot of people focus more on the miracles and not the journey. A lot of people focus more on the miracle and not or the miracles and not the journey. And this of course make many of us to be in a survival mode. Just imagine that you are well as you also those even you're joined to you know that I like science. So I know no person will go to a lab and want to do a new research and will never sit down to check the protocol. No scientist will do that. And as I asked every one of us who watch our session in the last session we have for 2023, the question is, what are you doing to optimize your results? So it's still part of the optimization that we're talking today. And basically, I think this year is all about optimization. It's not just having a result. And there's no way you can optimize a result without understanding the process. And talking about the process is why we have the different modes of operation. You may do the same task by using this different methods, you have different results. True or true?
True, true, true.
You may do the same things at different times, exactly the same thing, but you have different results.
Exactly.
So that is why it's not important to always focus on the result. If you want to be depressed in life, focus on the result. If you want to be frustrated in life, focus on the result. And for this reason, I see many people. If you come to a dark room, there's no light. They don't need to tell that the light is switched off or there's no light in that room. You automatically know. So generally, we want to first of all encourage everybody who's connected that if you have the mindset of always focusing on the result, oh, these people they won yesterday, they win, you never understand some things because if they put some of us in the position of those who played yesterday, they will do worse things. That is part of understanding the process. Sometimes not like okay, this person didn't want to play. There are many other things that come into play for you to have a good result. How much of the process do you understand? So, Raphael, before I proceed, I want you to also talk. So, so my question to you is, what do you think is the reason why some of us operate maybe? Because you also said in the beginning that many we are not operating in the same energy level. And so my question is basically, what do you think is the reason that some of us operate at lower energy level? What are some of the factors in your opinion?
Okay. You made mention of a very good point. That is uh, focusing on results rather than focusing mainly on the process. Because we are we base too much of our thinking on the results that we want to get, and maybe the results are not coming at that particular moment at that particular time when you're expecting it to come. Now that begins to drain you. Seriously, it drains you so much because your expectations are not being met, and that brings down your energy levels a lot. So the idea here is whatever you are doing in life, it is good that you begin to focus on the process of doing that thing. And one thing is you should be doing what you love doing, because just doing what you love doing already puts your energy very high, because whether you're getting results, whether you're not getting results, you love what you're doing. You will keep doing it, and you can maintain that energy and sustain it for a longer period of time, no matter the results, no matter what is coming. So we have to know that in life we always have to learn from our environment, learn from nature, learn from everything around you. That's why we were talking about being spiritual last time. If you have that spiritual nature, it entails that you are able to learn from nature. So if you look at the way things usually go in nature, things don't happen all at once at the same time. Trees, the trees don't take one day to grow. You have, when the ocean waves are moving, you always have it going up and coming down, going up and coming down. So you have to realize that that is just the process. That is just the process. The down process, when the moments when you are down are as important as the moments when you're up, because those down moments are the very important moments that will teach you a lot of lessons that the up moments won't teach you. So your down moments in life are as important as the up moments. So if you can focus mostly on the process and forget about the results, once you focus on the process, the results will come. That's definitely true. No matter how long it takes, so we cannot determine when the results will come, but we are sure that if we keep doing the right thing, keep being intentional about what we do, then results are bound to come. So focusing on your results rather than on the process is a big energy trainer for you. The second thing is your cycle. I think
Oh yeah.
your cycle is a big energy trainer for you. Have you ever had any moment when you get into a room full of people and just looking at some other people, it just feel like you are out of place? So you can get into company with somebody and you see that your energy levels, you can feel that excitement, though that energy level in you rising. And when you get into the company of others, you find yourself just being grumpy, getting angry for no reason. That's because of the energy that you found yourself in. Not everyone around, like I told you in the beginning, we always have that aspect of negative and positive energy. And people also exhibit that negative and positive energy. You can just get into a room and there are too many negative minds there, and by the time you leave that room, you have picked up a lot of negative energy from that room just by being there or just by being with someone who has that negative energy. If you have not built your mind to be strong to a particular level, you will pick up that energy very fast. And most of the times, you won't even notice it, but you will be wondering, what is happening to me? I came here happy, but I'm leaving sad. This person came into my house, I was happy, but I'm leaving still. The person left, I'm feeling sad. That's because that negative, you have picked up that negative energy from that person. So the people that we choose to associate with can also influence our energy levels. Also, the materials you consume, the things you read, the books you read, the articles that you read, what you browse and find online, they can act as very big energy drainers for you. Take for example, you go on news, and I don't know why it is that way, because it seems as if the media is always bombarding us with all that negative things that are happening. Just take a look,
I
look.
don't watch it that much for that reason. So
Yeah. So
I
if you look
don't.
at if you look at the way the news agencies they function, they'll always be telling you about all the
The
negative,
bad things happen,
the
yeah.
bad things that are happening in the world. You get into CNN, they're telling you how somebody has bombed Afghanistan, children are dying everywhere,
I
filling your
know.
head just with that negative. So
Negative, yeah.
all that negative energy that they feed into you, all that feedback, all that thing. So Jesus said something which was very, very particular or peculiar. He said, "You should be like the watchman at the gate." And
Yeah.
that gate is not being any gate, that gate is the gate of your mind. So you have to be very conscious of the things that you let get into your mind. You choose, Whatever gets into your mind is all up to you. It's all up to you. Whatever you let into your mind is all up to you. Somebody can say something and you like, okay, he said it. Well, I don't have control over what people say, but I'm not letting this thing get to me. I'm totally detached from this thing, so I'm not letting it get to me. So the social media, I mean, there's a lot of negativity with social media, especially with these news agencies. So I don't know why it is like that, because they are always bombarding us with all the negative things that are happening in the world. The world market is scratching. This one is going down. This one, everything is just crumbling. So most of the times that negative, all that negative things that we let get into our mind, you're not being a watchman at the gate of your mind. So letting in these negative things into your mind, you might think that it has no role to play, but it gets into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind stores them there. And when it's being stored in your subconscious, it begins to manifest in your life, and find yourself not being happy, and you're asking yourself, why am I not happy? Why am I not happy? Because of the things that have been subconsciously stored in your mind. And all those things, we are the ones that often let all those things get into our subconscious mind. So, those are some of the things that I think they really drain our energy. So, there are a lot of things that will drain your energy. There are a lot of things that will drain your energy. Uh, you should be also very conscious of the person that you choose to be your partner, because
Actual.
there are a lot of things that will drain your energy. There are a lot of things. Even the food that we put into our system,
Yeah.
the food that we put into our system drains our energy a lot. So you have to be really conscious with all these things. If you eat something today and you see that it is putting you in a bad mood, you're just feeling sleepy, you're just feeling tired, oh, you're just feeling like something is wrong somewhere, is that food that you ate. So whatever goes into your system, whatever goes into your system, not only your physical system, but especially your mind, it has an after effect on you. And one thing we should realize is that in life, nothing will just keep on going straight. So like you all know, I'm a trader, and in the market, we usually have what is called a consolidation, a period in the market when the market is not moving. You just find price going up, coming down, going up, coming
Mm-hmm.
down, going up, coming down. So that is the consolidation phase. And after that consolidation phase in the market, we have an expansion. So in our daily lives, we also have all those things happening in our daily lives. There are periods when you find yourself just in a consolidation. You're neither going up, you're neither
Yeah,
going
another
down,
calm
you're
down.
neither going up, you're neither going down. You don't know where life is taking you, but for sure, if you are doing the right thing within that consolidation trip period, then your expansion is definitely going to be to the right direction. So it's very necessary, because the consolidation phases in your life, those are the moments when God is revealing a lot of things to you. That is when you begin to realize a lot of things. That is when you begin to philosophize, you begin to ask yourself a lot of questions. And as you keep on asking a lot of questions, answers come. Answers come. Maybe you ask yourself a question today, the next day you hear it. Somebody is talking about it somewhere. You ask yourself questions today, you get up tomorrow, the first thing you open your phone, you get into your social media app, and you get the answer there. So God is always listening. God is always listening, especially when you are striving to have your life aligned with His will. So if you walk in that alignment, you're in alignment with time. So another thing which I always like to talk about is staying in the present moment. Staying in the present
Yeah, and then now.
Staying in the present moment is
Yeah.
very important. If you are living your life in the future, if you are living your life in the past,
Yeah.
that's a big energy drainer for you. That's a big energy drainer for us. The future is not yet come, and the past is already gone. So forget about them and concentrate on what you have. Cultivate the art of gratitude. Be grateful for what you already have. Be grateful, even if it's just small that you already have. Be grateful for it. It's from that gratitude that many more doors will get open to you. God wants to give you a little to see how much you can appreciate that
Manage.
little so that He can be able to give you more. He will not give you more when He knows that you cannot appreciate the little in life. So appreciate your family members, appreciate your friends, appreciate your life, appreciate where you are in life, whether you are at a down stage in your life, whether you are at your consolidatory phase in your life. Appreciate those moments, be grateful for them, and give thanks for those moments, because those are the moments that will really build you into what you are. So those are some of the things that I think really drain our energy. I know that everybody will have uh, a different way of experiencing these things. So uh, like we always say, please share in the comment section. Share in the comment section what you think are energy drainers, things that you have experienced, maybe personally, maybe you've seen people experience them in their lives that are draining them. So just share them in the comment section so that we can also learn from you. We are not here only to come and talk and learn. We also want to learn from you. So please share them in the comment section. Thank you.
Awesome. Amazing. Guys, are we all enjoying this session today? So, in case now you were wondering, who is Lafayette? Now you know. If you notice, guys, I don't like to really introduce myself. Reason being, it's not always about me, it's about everyone connected. So, yes, I would like people to know who's connected. That's why I always write the name. So, if in case you wonder what name, check it there. Creative and Independent Minds. Last week, I think it was Brightest Lu. So, that just to give you hints. If you say, oh, why did you just always check the screen? There will always be something like, who is talking? Brightest Lu. Today is what? Creative and Independent Minds. The same person. Maybe the next time you see me is remarkable. So, just be checking. So our file name is always there. I don't know. Did you put it today? Okay, you put June. So you see Brightest Lu, but unfortunately, it's seen from my screen what I'm saying, seeing the creative and independent minds has covered everything, which is the essence of today. So it's not about two of us, it's about everybody, it's about creative and independent minds. So guys, if you enjoy what is happening here, if you enjoy this conversation, send some hearts and also tap those your screen, just tap the hearts so that you keep this live session active. We don't want to be talking to ourselves as usual. We want to know everyone is active and it's not just Lucy, Brightest Lu, and June, but you have creative and independent minds who are all connected. That means that I can't move without acknowledging some great things you mentioned. So that is to say, guys, if you listen to everything I've already said, is to say, tell us that indeed our life is dependent on our choices. Because you choose who to get married to, it's not by force, it's by choice. You choose what to eat, you choose the type of friends to keep very close, you choose the program you study in high school, in college, you know. And when you the ones you do in elementary could be or the ones they impose on you, but as an adult, you choose the job. Yes, it may be because we need money. Of course, you still have the choice. You say, oh, am I doing this one or that one? It's life is really difficult, but we make those choices. It may be because of a hard situation, but the reality is that we still had that opportunity to choose. So that is just to say our choices obviously influences our level of energy and influences our level of oppression as well. So something you mentioned that I want to share, two things by the way you mentioned that I want to share with my personal experience. Like during COVID, I just relocated to the US during COVID. But before relocating, I had a situation. I was tutoring somewhere, and the lads I went in person to tutor at this location. Everywhere, like the population of that community was out, like, oh, people had COVID. I'll not mention the location though. So two people had COVID, and it was a location like COVID was not even existing in that area. And imagine you're going there, and everyone like, you didn't hear. So I went home. I felt so depressed. Now, I was just taking the ginger, the garlic. That was before even it came to where they had to do the shutdowns. That was way long when COVID just started. So I went home. That week I didn't even go to church because I was afraid not to contemplate. I just isolated myself, not wanting to church because I don't like to transfer fear. So I was just like taking distancing myself from people, taking all the ginger, the warm water. Then after like 2 weeks, being in that mode and that position, I asked myself that if two people had COVID and these two people that they claimed they were carrying them at that moment where I was to the mortuary, and there was no like any preventive or people being protected in any way holding those people, you get it. So I'm like, definitely they should announce more cases from this same location. And I waited nothing. And after like that 2 weeks passed, I went to that same location. People were living their lives normally.
Yes, sir.
I came and visited maybe that 2 weeks ago. I was depressed somewhere else. And the people who are living in that particular community were happy. That's why I came home and asked myself that for the it's not even the disease that will kill some of us, it's that fear. Because what I went through mentally and my body went through like just because of the fear, not because I had it. And just imagine those things I was also like those warm things I was just taking. Maybe I could have maybe things like acid reflux. So that's why I understood that before you, first of all, hear what God is saying, everything, before you even listen to any other person, even if they say they have proof, because that same time, that same community, you have situation in which people's family members will have maybe somebody who have been down health wise for months, and when the person finally passed, the label it was COVID. So, so it was tough for me, and I had that struggle now between like once you listen to the cases, you have more fear generating in you. That was general personal my experience. Like each time I listen to the media, oh, I was hearing this person have died, and you're afraid that maybe you'll be the next person. Then finally, I heard this man of God said this that if you listen too much about the media, you hear bad news. Like in a sermon, you hear bad news, and once you listen more to bad news, fear is what is being activated. But when you get up in the morning and you listen, you press your Bible, faith is activated. So we have the choice to get up each day and first of all activate fear or activate faith. So that really is something that changed me, my mindset as a person when it comes to what is happening. Yes, of course, these things are happening, but once you get it from the scriptural perspective, of course, you get faith, not fear. So I just wanted to add that is a choice. You have to choose to get up each day and first put on your phone. You have to choose to get up each and first read your Bible and pray, get direction before you do anything, or just get up and pick up your phone or call a friend or call a family member to ask what is happening. And for some of us, we also know that sometimes not the media, it's the people connected to you always just sending bad news or they need something. So that alone change some people's mood. So you have to definitely make the choice of what you want to listen to each morning, and that for me as a person has changed a lot of things. Like where you see now you understand they say when they say there's a casting down, we say there's a lifting up. So it's only in the when you're in that particular position. So another thing you talked about choice I said is powerful, that is in terms of nutrition. We all understand that there are different chemicals that our body naturally produce. Mhm. Our body naturally produces hormones to regulate some activities in the body. But guess what? What the body produces is dependent on what the body has. As and some of the things that we take are what the body already has, not what the body needs. Like people tell me, oh, this has it's a good source of proteins, and I'm like, what type of proteins? Oh, what specific types of amino acids are in that protein. So that is just to say we all have that choice to also decide what to eat and what not to eat. And what you eat will influence if it's the happy hormones like dopamine. which is being produced, or the ones that related to stress and result to things like depression, hypertension like cortisols and others. So we decide which one accumulates based on the things we eat and the things we do. So choice really, Rafael, was a powerful thing you mentioned. So guys, if we are enjoying this, let's see some hearts. And if you enjoy having Raphael like I do, let us also know that in the comment section. Send him some hearts as well. It's always a blessing, Raphael, to have you with us. So this to everybody connected is a new year for every one of us. Your light may not have been shining as you want it to shine, and especially for those who are connected on YouTube. My YouTube is all about brightest light specifically. So brightest light because I believe every human being is a light. It's either you're informed or not informed. You don't, and the thing is, you can be a light, but you don't know you're a light, so you don't use your light, or you don't switch on your light. And as a human, as let me say individually or personally, rather personally, I believe I don't have the responsibility to make any person happy. It's not my responsibility to make a fire happy. No. It may be annoying for some people, but that's why I came to understand that is what it is. For me, I'm talking specifically for me now. So personally, I don't believe it's my responsibility to make a fire happy or make any person happy. I don't still believe it's my responsibility to motivate anyone. I don't believe it's my responsibility to please any human being. But guess what? I believe it's my responsibility to get up each and put on my light no matter what's happening. And that light, of course, may inspire or motivate someone or may make somebody happy. So that's what I believe in. And that's why I believe if each one of us just gets up and put on his or her unique light, definitely this world will be a better place for all of us connected, all of us, and definitely things will be more easy for us. So yes, I understand that for so many reasons, sometimes our lights are turned off. Some people know that they are lights, but their lights are turned off. Sometimes due to life situations, sometimes due to personal reasons. Like some people may have turned off their lights this January just to edify themselves, which is not a bad thing if you're in that position. It's not a bad thing, it's essential. It's not just important, but it's essential. So we just want to do that at the end of the day, or before the end of this session, or as we end this session, everybody is going home knowing that he or she is a light. And yes, you may not necessarily have to motivate anyone, but still remember you have to, each day given to us, each minute given to us is for us to put on our light. So this is another year for us to put on our light. The question is, are you ready to do that? Do you want to do it? Do you want to do it? Rafael is back.
So sorry,
No,
so
no,
sorry.
it's fine. It's not as bad as the previous session, so that is only consoling for me. So, guys, for all
It's
those
not as bad
connected,
as it
let
used
me
to
not.
be.
Sorry, I didn't get you. Rafael,
I
sorry, I didn't
said it's
get
not
you.
really as bad as it used to
Oh,
be at
yes, it's
first.
much, much way better. So,
I'm
for
saying that
all
it's not
amazing
as bad
people
as it
connected,
used to be
let's.
at first.
Sorry, Rafael, I was kept talking. Rafael, were you saying something? Okay, I was saying that all amazing people connected. Please, at this point, if you have shared a life, we still encourage you to share to about 5 people, at least 5 people or 5 groups. And if you have some
No, it's
friends you
okay.
want them
No, it's just a network.
to put on their amazing lights this year, people you know who have not been shining their lights, tag them in the comment section before we go to the next part of this discussion because it's getting serious. So Share this live session with any person because it's the highest way you can really, really empower somebody. I don't believe in giving fish to people throughout, but I believe in showing people how to fish. So this is just that one piece of information that we all can use. Someone maybe deploy somewhere because he or she is comparing the journey with another person's journey, is comparing the face he or she is without knowing that maybe I'm in my lack phase, not necessarily my dead phase. So it means there is still my lock phase ahead. Or yeah, there are maybe different lock phases, higher level even. So yes, let's take our time to share and invite our loved ones to get this amazing message. So understanding that all of us go through these different phases of life, ups and downs, and just like those who play soccer, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's what it is. Even the best of teams lose sometimes. It's just a reality. And just as some of us have changed our clubs or our teams, whatever match you're watching, whatever game, if you like the American football like I do, if you like basketball and you love someone like LeBron James, then definitely sometimes it go away, sometimes it doesn't go away. So every game, if you like to watch what about the tennis, you see that even the people you love so much don't play all the time. And yes, that happens to you and me. But what do we do? That's just the question we all want to answer today. What do we do, or what are we doing this year different? Because you may have made a mistake to say, okay, because you're in the lack phase, you instead took yourself to a decline phase. Instead of making use of that, your lack phase, to prepare, to assemble, to see things that you can be doing and make tomorrow better. You took it and you were like, God, why me? You were trying that, God, why me? God, give me this, and God's not giving, and you're just like, God, this cannot be. You've been promising this, so we want to get to another higher level, that we don't just ask and wait, but we are watching and we are walking, watching, walking, and waiting. So one, that's why they say pray with that season. So if you're this person who think, oh, you're in a spiritual warfare, you don't just pray, God, give me this. And that is why some of us are making fake prophets have jobs this year. Hey guys, if they're fake prophets, it means there are people who need fake miracles. So some of us are the ones making fake prophets to still have grants in this generation, because we want miracles without knowing the process, without knowing how God works. We just want anyone who can pray and give us those things. So if people can just make us believe that they can do those things, and we want fast results, we don't have time. We don't have time to waste. We want results before the ending of this month. And so anyone who is able to pray and those things that we wish we have them, oh God, that is a man of God to some people's perspective. So we want to
The funny
definitely
thing,
change that.
the funny thing is
We
that
want
we,
to
the funny
definitely
thing
change
is
that
that
type of
most of
mindset,
us,
because that's the reason why some people say, oh, so I've seen people generalize and say things like, oh, churches today are the biggest problem. Sweethearts, you have to check what you're saying, because you're saying based on what you look for. Any person who says something is fake maybe doesn't know the original, but someone say this is fake and this is fake, that's the person who know the original and the fake. Because if there's fake, there's original. But those who don't know how to differentiate the fake from the real will always mix everything and conclude so fast. So if you see yourself in that position this year of concluding because you didn't see what you went maybe to church to ask God for a baby and God didn't give you that baby, doesn't mean God does not answer prayers. But definitely, you have to be spiritually aware to understand what God is saying in that particular situation. If you don't get it, you say, "Oh, God, or the church is fake, or the pastor is fake." The pastor said this will happen. The pastor, God may tell you that this will happen, but it doesn't mean it's happening this year.
exactly.
So,
So, the funniest thing is that we don't realize that each and every one of us, we are the greatest miracles in our own lives.
oh yes,
Eh, so we go
oh
around
that's
searching for miracles everywhere, not realizing that you yourself, you are the greatest miracle in your own life.
awesome. Yeah, so guys, we all are miracles, and getting up, sleeping each day, and getting up is really a miracle. It's just that we take a lot of those things for granted. So guys, that is to say, it's important. All these phases, wherever, whatever phase you are in your life, the phase that you feel God is not answering you, the phase you feel all is moving so well, you are at exponential phase, the phase you feel is just like preparing you for the next stage, all are very important. But the wrong thing or what is frustrating and that can be very destructive is being in the wrong phase at the wrong time or being too long in a phase at the wrong time. So you may be in the lack phase, but do you want to be in your lack phase your entire life? So that's why for me this session is all about deactivating those of us that have been permanently in the lack phase without knowing, or in those of us that are in the declining phase when it's not yet time, because sometimes we induce this one, as we've said, it's all about choices. That's a reality. If you say, oh, I want to put God first, it's a choice. If you say, oh, I want to choose the pastor based on my belief, based on spiritual things, not based on miracle, it's still a choice. If you say, oh, I want to choose a choice based on where they will give me what I want, it's still a choice. So if you say, I want to eat just vegetables, it's your choice. If you say, oh, I want to get married to this person, it's still a choice. So at the end of the day, some of these phases we are have been induced based on the choices we made last year. So I'm taking this advantage to tell everybody, or opportunity to tell everybody, that while you're looking what you want God to do this year, also look how what you did last year is influencing what you need, because what you're going to have this year is still dependent on that foundation that's already built. So sometimes we are blessed, but we cannot identify our blessing just because we are looking at the wrong thing. We are focusing in the wrong things. So, for example, when I was thinking about this, come to think about it, even let me say, like, how many of us have seen somebody in a battle, like, let me say, soldier or actor for people who watch action movies. How many of us have seen like this main actor, lead actor, giving up because the person had a bruise on his body? Oh, happy to have you, big sis, Mrs. Sonia Mikwe. So how many of us have really seen like a soldier in a battlefield giving up because he had a wound? For me, most cases when I see these people fight, even when there is like their legs are broken, they are still fighting, like they don't give up. Why? So what can we say is the reason? Like how many times you see like people really in the battlefield really not giving up? They are just fighting, despite the fact that if it was maybe you or I in that position, you're like just kill me and say whatever you want to say, like kill me or get it. They're like, no, I'm not leaving this. So I came to realize that indeed, if you are a soldier, for those who say, I am a soldier at the battlefield, songs like that, if you're indeed a soldier, you will never focus on the bruises that are temporal. You will always focus on your mission. And that resilient mindset is what most successful people have. Like I don't know like a successful or happy person who is focusing on what is not going right.
Please let me just cut you short a little bit
Yeah.
because I will need to sign out now.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so I've really enjoyed the time with all of you guys, and for sure next week I'm going to be again with you guys, and I just have to follow up with something else right now.
No
But
problem.
definitely
Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.
I'll be coming back next week so that we can share a lot. I've already learned a lot from you today. And I'm also going to make sure I go and watch those comment sections to see what
I know.
everybody everybody commented so that I can get something from that. So guys, let me, before I go, I just want to say that no matter what you are doing, like you were saying, you never see an actor in a film give up. So first of all, you have to know that what you're doing, or you have to make what you are doing important for you. Because if it is important for you, you will be resilient. The reason why they don't give up even when they are fought and they are bruised is because what they are fighting for is important to them. And if something is not important to you, you will give up very soon.
Mm.
give up very easily. So
Oh
first of
yeah.
all, love what you're doing. If you love what you're doing, it will be important to you. And if it's important to you, you'll be resilient. No matter the challenges that you face along the way, you will see that that natural resilience comes in because naturally you are already in alignment. You're already in flow with what you like or you like to do. So this mostly applies even to our relationships with other human beings. So if they are important to you, you always be resilient to keep them in your life because it's always a two-way side. You have to fight for you have to fight for your relationships. You have to, I'm not saying that you go and hug somebody and start fighting, but you have to put in that energy into it. So the amount of energy that you put in into anything, that's it equals the result that you're going to get. I did not do physics, but I know that when you swing something to the right, the amount of energy that it swings to the right, that is the same amount of energy that it will use to swing back to the left. So the force that is applied to this side will be equivalent to the force that is applied to that side. So, guys, I wish you guys the best during this 2024 and see you guys next time.
Thank you so much for creating time to spend with us. We are happy to hear from you. Thank you so much. And we would still like to hear from you other points. I know you always have so many points and you always do it amazingly to drop them in the comment section for those who may be watching later. Thank you
You
again.
guys, bye bye.
Okay, good. Okay, so guys, thank you. I hope we all enjoy. As I said, I always like to have people like Wafa here because he has a great mindset, and that's what I love most in humans. When I see someone who has a great mindset like that, I don't let you go. I learn from you, so that's why I like to learn from him so much. So okay, that what I was just saying, he just nailed it perfectly well. I don't think I have much to say. I just say whatever he used force, that is for those who do physics. So whatever you put your mind on, that's where energy flow. And that talks if you're moving in a vertical direction, forces will tell you that the forces acting in that direction will always apply. If you're moving in a circular direction, it's the same thing. Forces that are applied in circular direction is going to apply. So wherever you put your mind on, oh bless, have high five to you too. Happy to have you. It's been a while. How you doing? So wherever we put or whatever we put our mind on is where energy flows. If you put your mind on the result, which is what we said from the beginning, is what when you see the result not coming immediately, that's the reason a lot of us get into that survival mode. Also, when you focus on the things you don't yet have, let me give example. You want money to get some to do something, right? And you don't have that money. Once you focus that I don't have money, that turn off a lot of your the switches in your life. Like all you think is just how can I get money? Well, I don't have money. I can't do this. So I call it the lack mentality. So once you focus on what you lack, you become automatically operating in that survival mode. So some of us are definitely operating in survival mode because we are focusing on those things we don't yet have that we need. Yes, of course, everybody need money to pay your bills, need money to take care of one or two things, to take up your dependence, stuff like that, we know. But come to think about it, is that your primary reason of existence? No. So once you lose focus from your primary reason of existence and you focus on that thing that your basic needs. Oh, you need food. In the case of Esau, because of food, what happened? He saw his bed right. So it's not just money, food or whatever. Dress, or you like the way this person dresses, and you want to dress like that person. You don't have, and you just focus on that. Once your attention shift from your main purpose and focus to a temporal thing, you start operating in that survival mode. Survival mode now, all what you're doing is just to get that basic thing. That not the main thing, the basic thing you need. So that is what I call the survival mode. So this year the question is, do we want to continue for those who are operating in the survival mode that you just focus on? Like that, some of us, all we do is work for money, like it or not. Like get up in the morning, go and that is all you think. Like that is all you think, that is all you do. Some of us, all we need is food. Give us good food and we are good. Some of us is just to look good. As far as our hair is on point, that is all matter. All we think is how do we get money to look good. So once you're operating in that particular, you may not know, but you are in a survival mode. And I wouldn't even call it lack. It's not lack phase. I'll call it survival mode. And nobody in that position will definitely be getting these sustainable growth results. You may have some results, but you may not be able to manage them because you're in that mode. So having you may have great results at that point, though, yeah, because God is gracious, right? But guess what? Just like Saul got to the top. But what happened? He came down. So that could be your situation. Some people, you see, some people have amazing results, but because they were operating in the lack mode. Oh, I didn't have money when I was growing up. So when they have the money, because they focus just on the money, become like their main influence. So money controls them. So you have people who maybe were hungry, and when they were hungry, they were very humble people. But now that they have excess food, they are very proud and arrogant people. So those are the things that when you miss the lack phase, do what you're supposed to do and put that mission mode on you miss it. So straight to the point. Why do I want everybody this year to operate not in survival mode? Why? So, by the way, for those connected, you can share with us what do you think are some of the reasons? That's just what we want at the end of this conversation today. What are some of the reasons why we should all be conscious of not operating in survival mode but in a mission mode? And to also say, choice, some of us have decided to focus on what people say or what is trending because we live in a tech time, and with tech, good thing is that it's helping us in different amazing ways, but also it's a distraction to many of us. Like, as I said, you have that choice to get up each day and focus first on what the media is saying, what people are saying, what is trending, focus on what God is saying. And because some of us don't have that self control, the reason why we may be operating the mode in which we operate is based on what is trending or what people are saying or what we want to show, what we want to prove, or who we want to impress. Okay, Emma says, I prepare I think he meant it prepares you for all foreseen circumstances. Thank you. So the reason why we all want to be in a mission mode, if you know exactly what your purpose is in general, you'll be able to discern, to have that discernment to know that, oh, this is where I am now. And you know exactly what you need. Because some of us may be investing our time on things we definitely not need. For example, I don't believe that you have to do a specific thing to have income. I believe that whatever you do and you do it so well can be a source of income, which means if you have an idea and you decide to work on it, whatever that idea is, tomorrow it can be a good source of income. So I don't also believe that, oh, you must follow a particular pattern with that idea because this is what this person did and work for that person. You need to do that same thing, or this is what is funny, or this was paying now, but you want to definitely be. So if you are like a man said, prepare for unforeseen. If you're this person who is not just following a pattern, you are intentional, your mission mode, you know that this is what I have to do. And God being specific, if you're intentional and continuously ask God, what do I need? Trust me. And if you stay in that mission mode, you always be aware for so many things before they ever happen. That is just personally what I've experienced. Like, there are some things that you don't definitely know exactly how they will happen, but you are aware. It doesn't come totally as a surprise. It may come as a surprise, like you didn't expect it this time, this way, this person, but God told you in some way or the other. So that is one important of the mission. Well, thank you so much, Emma, for that powerful one. Okay, Bless said something amazing. I said I like my guys, mostly the creative and independent minds. So I encourage everybody. Those watching from Brightest Lu, that's my profile. You can do what my amazing people do in creative and independent minds. As I said, like just Raphael and others, when you see these guys, when they are not around, they come and watch the videos, you're always learning from the powerful comments they drop. So that's why I'm not concerned with who is watching at a particular time. I will just like let the message be passed, and those that is going to touch. As I said, it's not my responsibility to make any person happy or to impress anybody, but I believe that just leaving my light on, it helps me as a person, first of all, in taking the right steps, and also it may be a light to another person. So let's say it's limiting, and I believe creative and independent minds are not expected to be limited, but exponential in every part of our lives. Thank you so much. So you staying in your survival mode limits you automatically. As I said, it turns so many lights off. It turns you from seeing things in different directions. So that is why we definitely want to activate our mission mode. Thank you so much for that powerful input and bless. So okay, so another point I has is it leads to depression. You know, there's no way to talk and not talk about health and talk about things that really affects us day to day. My number one on my own list is depression. So a lot of time I see people talk about mental health divorces that and like let's start from some of the root causes over time. It's because of the mood that someone is operating. If you're operating in survival mode yet expecting exponential result, most of the time you don't get exponential results when you're in survival mode. If you're working, for example, to just have income, money, you have income, you don't have freedom. So you can't have everything doing the same one silly mistake. So depression comes because we are expecting something else and doing something else. We are expecting something that is on a different road, and yet we are not thinking in even the right direction. So depression comes from having the wrong focus in simple words. Having the wrong focus, that's one of the causes. It induces stress. So biologically, that's a process in which we can have self-induced stress. And there's no way we want to be focusing on the wrong things this year, right? Second, it results to low self-esteem. A lot of us are not aware of who fully we are because we are in survival mode. You just want to survive. You just want, also when you're in a critical condition, let's look somebody who is going through a very stressful financial situation. What you think is just to get out. We understand sometimes we need that mood to survive, right? But my point is not staying there forever. Also someone who's maybe in a health condition, definitely the person should focus on, oh, how do I get out of this position? But now you are out. Once you focus on just again that survivor, just stay healthy and that's all. But you don't ask like, okay, God, why did you keep me alive? That is not someone who is in the mission mode, right? Somebody who is just in survival mode, I just want to do this to stay healthy, that's all. So that of course results to low self-esteem, because that would be, we live in in a time and generation that will define or they describe us based on our predicaments, not based on the good things. It's based on, oh, that loser, that disabled person, that blind, that. So if you focus on that particular low thing that make you to be in that survival mode, obviously your self-esteem will always reduce. So it results to low self-esteem. Loss of purpose and passion. So a lot of time when you see, how can you easily know that someone is in survival mode? It's simply by seeing somebody who have no vision or no purpose. A lot of people you see on the street just want to live. I just living, I just existing. They don't want to think about any big thing, any purpose. So some people have lost that they have lost their purpose and passion. So they just exist, and that's one of the reasons why we want to activate our mission mode. Another one is to help those whose destiny are dependent on us. As I said, I've come to believe that there are some people whose journey are dependent on your light. So if you dim your light, you mean you're preventing other people from going, just like you depend on other people's light, right? And your light, when just imagine you're walking on a dark street and you have a torch. You decide to put off your torch because every other person on that street does not have a torch. Does not. Now these are the people who don't even identify that they are light or they have light. And because you don't see the other people's torch on, you decide to put off your torch. What happened to you first? you also walk in darkness, and guess what? You can stumble and fall. And imagine that you in that very dark street, with so many people walking with that light, putting on your light. You are not going to help just yourself from falling, but you're going to help other people. So that's how I visualize our lives on earth. If each and every one of us just put on his or her little light in your own unique way, you are helping other people to also shine in different ways. So the next point I have is prevention of addiction. Like a lot of times you see people addicted to alcohol. Like I come from a community, like originally from a community that when people get up in the morning, people who don't even have money, they are not sure of the money to pay their rent at the end of the month. They get up in the morning, the first thing they go is to a beer parlor or a beer house. And I said something this and this week, and somebody told me not to mention beer. I was laughing, so maybe I should laugh here loud so I know this. So by the way, if you are this person who gets up and still go to the beer house early in the morning, trust me, most of the friends you're going to have are people who are from the beer house. So it may be an addiction you don't know. And these people who are on drugs, they say, oh, it's what motivates them, it's what activates them. Those are addictions. And that happens when you are not in your mission mode. When you're in this survival mode and you feel, oh, because of this thing you went through, you just have to survive, you have to overcome it. So that that lack, that deficiency is the reason some of us are looking for things externally to please us or someone else to make us happy. As I said, it's not personally my responsibility to make any human being happy. So that means we all, our happiness, from our understanding, our happiness is dependent on our choices. You get it? Your choice depends how happy you are. It's not someone who has to come and make you happy. So when you see yourself in that position of looking for happiness or validation from external things, be it drugs, alcohol, food, whatever. That's what we are talking about. That is one of the reasons that we all have to think about being in that mission mode, so that we don't have those addictions. We don't need to be addicted to things that we don't need in the first place. Someone said, "Oh, our body needs alcohol," and I asked the person, "Do your body produce alcohol?" Maybe it's a research for some people to do. If your body actually produces alcohol, and yes, if your body needs alcohol, what quantity of alcohol do your body need? So, um, because those are some of the reasons or and things we do to validate the reason for our addictions. Oh, my body need it, we need this. But I'm just saying that sometimes because you've been so active or connected to people who are in that survival mode, and you think that for you to survive, for you to be happy, for you to think high, you need to take alcohol or you need to take drugs or you need to do some things like that. So it's one of the reasons definitely we all want to switch our purpose and mission mode. Another thing is the loss of faith. When you're in the survival mode, all you need is those results. You're not really like, God, show me each day. Even though I want to check the story of every person in scripture that we celebrate today, I'm like, that journey was very tough. It's not the way some people, some Christians are assuming it is or expect it to be. It's totally not that case. Because if you look the situation of like Joseph, people know Joseph, the father had to sew him the coat of many colors. But you imagine your own biological brothers wanting to kill you. Just imagine yourself in that picture. And to the extent that they had to sell you or trade you, whatever word. And to the point that you go somewhere, you're accused of something you didn't do, and you're in prison for that reason. And that always makes me now to think about people who are in prison for crimes they didn't commit. So if you we take time to look the details of the story of just someone like Joseph, that we know, oh, he became a governor. That's a good one, right? We see it wasn't like an easy one, but what was key was the fact that he didn't lose his faith. That's why when he got to the luck or exponential phase, he could maximize it. He had no regret. But some of us, of course, in the slightest difficult or challenging moment we have, we lose our faith. So we want to always be in mission mode this year, so that no matter the position we find ourselves, no matter the phase we find ourselves, we shall not lose faith. The next thing is poverty. I am still, for those who know me in person, I never believe that poverty is a fact that somebody does not have money. It's not that. It's always a mindset of an issue. It's normal to be broke, but poverty, it's a mindset. It's a mindset of lack. Once you focus on, I don't have money. Money, to me again, it's a concept. It's not the things you have in your bank account. It's a concept. Which, if you understand the concept, you know how to accumulate it. You know how to use it. Because you can have also the money in your bank account, but you don't know how to use it. And guess what? You keep working for it. So poverty is one of the reasons why I don't encourage any person to operate in survival mode, because you always see yourself poor. Poor not because you don't have, but poor because you have that you have the survival mode on. So once you switch to a mission mode, you have a life of abundance, and you only see opportunities, you only see things you can do, and you definitely, you get up each day, you just focus on what can I do, how can I turn this to that, how can I, even it's like, how can I use this idea and get this. So it's very important for us to switch on a mission mode, for us to see opportunity where somebody see. For example, let me use the case of COVID, where everybody was seeing that, oh, people are dying. That is the problem, right? That's what the local, the regular people will just be seeing. But an entrepreneur will be like somebody who has a mission mode activated. Entrepreneurs for me are those who have their mission mode active, because they'll be like, what can we do? Oh, yes, you see, some people start producing masks, some people start producing hand sanitizers, and guess what? They were making money, they were good. Yes, people were dying, but what can you do? Yes, you don't have a job. What can you do? You see that you can do a business, you can be self-employed. So when you sit and you focus on, I am poor, it's a survival mode being it's a survival mode being active. It's not the fact that you don't have money or you don't have a job. Nothing close to that. So if you want to overcome poverty, first thing, change your mode of operation. That is the step one. Once you change that mode of operation, you live the life of abundance, not because you have too much, but because you see so much opportunities or different opportunities. And the thing is, if you stay so much in the wrong mode, in the survival mode, it may lead to death, as harsh as it is, but it is the reality. Just imagine you focusing on, let me give someone who was in a relationship last year, and this year the person is divorced. Now, if you focus on that relationship that is broken, suddenly you may develop hypertension, and if that hypertension is not properly managed, what happens? It may lead to death, right? That is just a simple example. So that is to say, yes, you stay so much or too long in survival mode may take you to a decline phase, a decline mode, and eventually may lead to death. So we want to be very, death may not just be, also it may be death of your idea. You may have an idea, and yet because that idea, you don't have all the resources you need. You focus on that thing that you don't have at this moment, and guess what? That begins to drain you from, and your survival mode becomes active, and you stay in that survival mode. What happened to that idea? Will that idea not be buried? So some people had great ideas like that in 2023, and now those ideas are not. So if you don't want your ideas, your plan, your mission, your vision to be buried, you have to put on that mission mode, no matter what you're going through, even if it's so difficult. I know life really happens. So no matter the situation, you want to still be asking the question, what can I do? That is the essence. What can I do? What can I do? One of the reasons that I know, after some people listen to a session like this, they won't do anything, is because of selfishness. It's harsh, but it's the reality. It's selfish. Some of us are selfish to ourselves, because some people now will check like, oh, um, let me use the example of a light. You have a light, you have a gift, you have a talent. That is what can be the light or whatever. And you know that you can offer your service to this particular friend of yours, or you need a service, you have a talent but you don't have a platform, and you know that okay, you can use this your friend's platform, and you know that if you use a friend's platform, the friend is going to earn something, maybe some recognition, some, and you're like, no, I'll not do it because this friend is going to grow. And that is the reason why some of us have stayed in a survival mode, because we don't want to lift other people. So yes, in order to promote others, the growth of others, that is the way you are promoting yourself. So my 10th reason is for growth, for your own growth and the growth of those connected to you, those connected to your destiny. So this is definitely where I am ending today. It's been a great section, and I hope everybody who was connected, we had something to learn. As usual, I always like to hear from everybody. Let me know in the comment section what you you had as your take home message from this live session. And also let's know, what do you think, like some of the points, because I don't think as usual that we mention all the points, all the things that keep some people in the reserve mode. You may be in the reserve mode without knowing, and maybe there's something we mentioned that help you to identify that, oh, I'm in my reserve mode or survival mode. So your reserve mode may not, it's also important to this I clarify this. Your reserve mode for me as a person, I don't think is necessarily your survival mode. Reserve mode can be more of your lack. I can look more of as a lack phase, which means, like, I'll take example, those who are fasting in this season are not really in survival mode. They are more in the lack phase. Like, they want to be energized, they want to plan properly, they want to hear clearly from God before taking steps. And let me also give, like, those who go for a match and now they decide to take out some time for themselves before going for any other match. For those who are athletes, that is not a survival mode for me. I think it's still a reserve mode, like that mode. So you need those times to build yourself, to regain your strength before you go back. So let's not take away that we need this sometime, but don't stay there forever. If, for example, you're an athlete and you had an injury and you will decide to take 5 years to recover. Maybe you may not have the club, the person who contracted you may not still have that contract, right? That's what we're talking about. So if you say, oh, because of this, I want to take 5 years, you want to also consider that your mission, will it still be active? Or, like, are you still going to be eligible for whatever you want? Or so we want to be very intentional about those things. So yes, hopefully this helps all of us, including myself, to make sure we keep our mission mode, mostly in times where things are not moving exactly as we want. But again, we know that God uses everything for good, right? So everything indeed is an opportunity. So we just want us not to waste time to say, oh, we are waiting till this thing happen, but make sure that wherever you find yourself in doing something, just keep your light on, and that light that is on may even help you that you don't stumble and fall, may help you not to lose your faith, may help you not to doubt yourself and reduce your self-esteem, and may help you to still be a blessing to others, despite the fact that you're not where you want to really be. So um, hopefully we see you all next time. So for those who are watching, wherever you're watching and you didn't have the opportunity to follow or subscribe before this time, we encourage you to do so, as we will do our best to upload videos regularly, more regularly now. We'll do our best. We're working on that. We know there was a change in time as from last week for those who didn't notice, and yes, we know this may be affecting some people because, like, generally there were few people active today. Some people were active, maybe working somewhere, but it's fine. We understand that as mostly the creative and independent minds will always come back to watch the video. So, but we also want to say this time is going to be like that for now, and it's a new year, so many things happening. Next week, I'm not very sure about the time because I'll be at an event. So just stay connected. You may know, you may grab something. If I go on the spirit lead me to live stream some part of the events I'm going to show you. In that light, if you're around Texas, let me know. I may connect with you one on one. For those who are in the US and around Texas, let me know. So, okay, thank you too, Emma. Stay blessed, everybody. Bye bye.